Before, well, since I've been on YouTube, and I don't think I've even gone live on YouTube. I was looking for the live button on my Facebook. I did a fast and I wasn't on Facebook for like 21 days or more, and then I came back and I didn't see my live button, so I don't even know what happened to that. But anyway, I wanted to do something really quick, especially for 2018. I wanted to talk about knowing the truth before we actually open our mouth to speak. Especially for this year, it just means so much, because especially when it comes to whether it's personal or business, just actually knowing the details and knowing the truth before we open our mouth and speak, it actually saves face. Even though God gives us grace, when you encounter a situation, make sure that you know kind of the backdrop, know what's going on before you actually open your mouth and speak on something that you don't know about. So I want to give you a quick example of something that happened today. And I want to thank God for his grace and his mercy. I want to thank God for the way that I actually reacted, because I knew that the person was being rude. I knew that they were being nasty. But the way that I responded to them this morning was so grace. Like, I gave them grace, and I knew that they were being ignorant. So I just want to go ahead and tell you what happened. So I took my son to a very important doctor's appointment this morning. We actually got there early, and we were probably about 10 minutes early. And so instead of the person greeting us, the first thing that they did was, okay, first of all, we are African American, which, I mean, that would be considered a minority. And so, no, I'm not starting this out saying it's a race card, but I'm just saying we came into an area that was predominantly Caucasian, to go to a doctor's appointment, which is fine. I love the area. But we came into it, and we came in with an insurance card that is Medicaid. Now, here's the thing. Normally, you see a minority coming in with a Medicaid card. Whatever the stereotype may be, you never know the situation. So here's minority coming in with a Medicaid card. And so when we got in, this is how we were greeted. I have a lot of people coming in through this door, so I need to hurry up and get this information in the system. That was not how I heard the person greet the person before me. And then she was like, "Oh, you got a $3 copay." And I used to do insurance. I did insurance for years, and I was like, not with this particular insurance. And she was like, "Well, it's just Medicaid." And I was like, "Nope, not all Medicaid's the same." And she was like, "Well, isn't Medicaid Medicaid?" And I was like, "Nope, he doesn't have a copay." And she was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, he's not 21, and he is fully disabled." Now, if you know what that means, that he's a youngster on disability, and if you were a parent that was on disability and your child had disability, but in this case, I'm not on disability, but my son is on full disability because he's never worked and he received disability as a child. He's been disabled since he was 12. Children receive SSI, okay, if the parent doesn't make over a certain amount of income. So my son is fully disabled. Backdrop, my son has a brain tumor, other health issues going on with him. She didn't know the story. Her whole demeanor and the look on her face totally changed. Totally changed. She was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. He is so young to be on disability." And I said, "Well, what were you thinking? Why did you think he had Medicaid? Were you assuming that I just wasn't working and my dependent was on Medicaid? Or was you just thinking that he was a young person that didn't work?" I said, "Now, actually, even though my son is fully disabled, he graduated from high school. I said he is going through vocational rehab trying to get a job. Now, I don't have to explain all of this stuff to you, but you stereotyped us. You stereotyped us, and you believed that we were just what? Coming in with a Medicaid card. Her whole demeanor changed towards us, and then she was like, if there's anything I can do for you, da 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 da. Now, I gave her grace. I did not correct her. She corrected herself. But this is, I just want to point this out because this is what we do to other people like every single freaking day. We look at their hair, we look at their clothes, we look at them, and we just determine who and what they are. Like right now, you could be looking at me and be like, whatever. You know what I mean? You wouldn't look at me and be like, oh, did she graduate high school? Did she go to college? Like, you know, excuse me, I just received a letter that said I was accepted at Liberty University. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, I don't care. You know what I mean? But you wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, different things. You wouldn't know or expect certain things. You would just stereotype. I have 2 braids in my hair. That may not signify success to you. Or you wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, you know, she's loading books onto Amazon. She's actually an author. She's actually working on releasing different products for children. You wouldn't equate any of that to me right now doing this video for you because you don't know me. But looking at me and I don't have this particular look of what you deem as being successful, but you don't know my story. You don't know my story. You don't know anything about me. And so we have this thing in our head where we think we can look at people and tell who's successful and who's not. We have this thing in our head where we can look and try to judge people and figure out who is doing what and who's worthy of what and we have to stop trying to figure out people's situation before we even know it. And we have to stop judging people by appearance. And we have to stop trying to figure out people's story before they even tell us. Because people know their own truth. They know their own story. Everybody knows their own backdrop. So I'm just saying all of that to say, be very careful of how you just automatically judge people or sum them up based on 5 seconds or 5 minutes. If it's not an interview that someone is doing with you for a job, don't do that. Don't do that. If it's not for anything related to them getting a job with you, do not just sum people up based on, and I know that that's how society is, you know, that's how we're built, but that is not how. And I'm going to say this video is based on how God is, because that's not how God is. So be very careful, because you're going to miss out on some really great people and some really great experiences in your life just judging people like that. You really will. And so I just wanted to use that lesson, because that lady was so sorry. She was so apologetic, because at that moment, she thought she had me summed up as whatever type of mother and him summed up as whatever type of young man. And then she was so interested in, well, what happened to him and what is the story and who could I really have before me? Like, she really started talking then. But at that time, it was too late. Like, you had already stereotyped me. You had already hurt my feelings. You had already blah, 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 blah. Be very careful doing that. And I could tell that genuinely she really was sorry that she had did that to me. So, but going forward, people do it every day. Oh God, especially on Facebook. Especially. But be very careful when you're going across people that you don't do that, that you don't just try to sum them up without actually digging a little bit deeper. So just wanted to say that to you guys. And so have a great day. That was my experience and just wanted to share it with you. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, bye-bye.